because I think you do need to show the X-Men in their suits. You need to show the X-Men in their suits. That's what gets us in there. I don't think they're gonna reveal like Storm out of nowhere.
I call him Sir James Marsden.
Wait, he's not even British.
No, I don't care.
Sir James Marsden.
Sir James Marsden. So James, they recognize that the Marvel fan base is dormant. Yes, there are some torchbearers who have kept the flame alive, but we are in kind of a low period.
I had such a good seat for Oppenheimer, but I was in Dolby, and I think my eardrum got blown out at one point.
Mr. President, I feel like I have blood on my hand.
Got your ticket for Fire and Ash.
Yeah.
You're painted head to toe as blue Navi makeup.
yeah, I'm wearing a thong.
You got
they're standing, trying to pick me up out of my seat to remove me from the theater. I'm going, I need to see Doomsday's teaser.
You got your big volcano popcorn bucket ready to go. Avengers Doomsday first trailer confirmed to release 1 year in advance before Avatar Fire and Ash this December.
rumors.
This is the rumor rundown. Oh, damn it. I didn't hide my identity.
And we're not retaking that because that note I hit was impossible to get back to.
Yeah, that was like,
what was Cynthia Erivo?
Yeah, that was it. I should know this is a good way. I think it's an E flat. I think it's a high E flat. You'll know if you love Wicked and Broadway. Anyway, this episode is called The Rumor Rundown. It's where the hosts of New Rockstars investigate the wildest rumors that nerds and newsmen alike cannot make heads or tails of, applying our own backgrounds in journalism and Hollywood connections, and finally confirming whether those rumors are honest scoops or bullshit poops. We are Erik, Voss, and Jessica Clemons. Hey, Jess.
Hi.
You know, last week, not a lot of you watched our episode, but those of you who did had some very nice things to say about us. And we thank you for tuning in. Hey, maybe it encouraged some of you to come back for this show this week. And you might be like,
We're not talking about the same thing as last week.
Not
We
what I
could,
thought.
kind of a little bit.
We could get into it.
Yeah.
So what we're going to get into today is kind of an analysis of the timing of trailers. Some movie trailers come out about 3 or 4 months ahead of time. Some come out over a year ahead of time. Is it successful to do that? And what does it tell us about Marvel's unusual marketing plan for Avengers Doomsday? You ready to get into it, Jess?
I'm ready to get into it.
As I reach and strain myself.
You're gonna pull something.
Damn it.
One day you're gonna pull something.
I already did.
You're gonna pinch a nerve, dude.
Day is today. It's my doomsday.
You need to stretch.
Before I open, no, I don't. Before Reed didn't in Fantastic Four.
Oh
so
my
why
God.
do I have to?
He's saving it.
Before I open up this envelope, if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the Witching Hour channel in the New Rockstars Network. We're having weekly video essays from myself, from Jessica, from Gina Ippolito. In fact, Gina's analysis of A Nightmare on Elm Street is coming out to the Witching Hour channel tomorrow, and you're going to want to check out that video. It's a good one. Okay, our first and I think only rumor today. Ooh, this comes from our friend Daniel RPK, who says that Marvel Studios is reportedly planning to attach the first look at Avengers Doomsday with the release of Avatar Fire and Ash. Now, Avatar Fire and Ash comes out this December 18th or so, that third week of December.
It's December.
Yeah.
It's the Christmas movie.
And so what they're saying is that will be the first time Marvel Studios releases it. It's Disney. It's a big opportunity. Now, Disney normally releases its trailers online, or sometimes they'll do it in televised events like, for the Super Bowl. Yeah. Sometimes during the AFC Championship, they'll release like TV teasers on Monday nights or Sunday nights in the month of January. But this would be a full year in advance for Avengers Doomsday.
Yeah. Do you think is it normal for them? Is this consistent that they've been doing? Because they did Fire and Ash for the little teaser for Fantastic Four, right? And then didn't they also, Universal did the Odyssey for, which one was it? Because Jurassic World Rebirth.
Jurassic World, yeah.
I was literally like, if I don't see this damn trailer, I'm walking out of this damn theater. Like, it was.
We were so mad.
You texted me because I also believed, but they did it with Fantastic Four too, and Fire and Ash. It was like right after the credits, we got another jump scare credits. Yeah. Or a jump scare trailer. So is it just because it's a Disney property, a big one, that they're like, oh, we're gonna release it on this day.
Well, historically, you know, these studios will use their release of a major film in one part of the year as a way to get eyeballs on their big release at a different holiday later in the year, sometimes the whole next summer. Christopher Nolan has really perfected this as a science. Almost all of his releases, he's done this, going back to The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight, we're going to go through the full history of times we've seen this, but The Dark Knight came out in July of 2008. Christopher Nolan released a teaser for that movie a full year and a month in advance in June of 2007, ahead of Michael Bay's Transformers. But there was no footage in that. There's no footage. There was just like, you heard audio of Michael Caine talking. You heard the Joker's laugh. But Christopher Nolan did the same thing with Tenet. Tenet released a trailer in August of 2019 in front of showings of Hobbs and Shaw.
They didn't know, though, what was going to happen in a year from that.
Didn't know. It was going to come out in July of 2020, though. That's like 11 months in advance. Of course, they got pushed to... it only actually got pushed to July of 2020 or August of 2020. Christopher Nolan stuck to that release date. He thought, I'm going to keep cinemas alive with Tenet.
Oh, and he did.
I still went and saw it.
I didn't see it in theaters. I saw it when it came out, but I think I watched everything on HBO that like 1 week.
yeah. And in fact, the fallout over Tenet and the fact that like Warner Brothers, for all their other releases, put them on HBO, pissed off Christopher Nolan so much, he left the studio and now he's at Universal for Oppenheimer and for the Odyssey. So you mentioned the Odyssey. The Odyssey was released a full year. That trailer, and it was a full trailer, released a full year in advance on Universal's Jurassic World Rebirth for their big summer release, which is going to be Christopher Nolan's Odyssey, and I think it will pay off.
Yeah.
Oppenheimer did the same thing and almost made $1 billion.
But I think that's the common thread here is like these big motion pictures. Yeah, you can give a year. Television doesn't work that way.
No, yeah.
But like they also did it with Deadpool and Wolverine. I remember we saw that trailer so far in advance. That teaser, was it the Super Bowl? Was it? We were all here on the couch.
That's right. So Deadpool and Wolverine released its trailer Super Bowl, so February 2024 for a July release. So that wasn't that far in advance.
Was it not that? I feel like we got like a teaser or something before that trailer.
You know what was crazy was Barbie. Barbie had a teaser as far back as December of 2023.
All you need to do was give us like Greta Gerwig's name and just list Barbie lettering, and that was enough to be like, we're hyped for 2 years.
Yeah, Barbie had a pretty effective marketing campaign, and I believe that was like 7 or 8 months in advance.
I feel like there's no it makes sense that these are the movies that you would bet a year in advance with a trailer. Doomsday, 100%. But I do think there's like, not to be this person, Thunderbolts, I wouldn't show the trailer like a year in advance. Like that's a new one. But Doomsday and all these Christopher Nolan movies, Barbie, those make sense as big picture, like 1 year in advance. I'm still going to be hyped over that full year.
So what Thunderbolts did was in July of 2024, we were at Comic-Con. They showed us footage, but it didn't release online. Yeah. And then in August, they did the same thing at D23 that year. But then in September, so we went from a September to a May for Thunderbolts. So that's about like 9 months in advance for Thunderbolts.
Still not that much.
Didn't work for Thunderbolts.
I was like, they also released like a bunch of shit in between there, to be fair. Like there's a bunch of trailers still coming out. And I remember only because I was doing Ironheart, I was like, yeah, but where's that Ironheart piece? Like I was like, we have Thunderbolts, Ironheart, and a bunch of other series. Like I think Daredevil Born Again, I was like, let me see what this looks like. They had a shit ton of trailers.
Yeah.
If you're only focusing on Doomsday around December, and I mean a little bit of Wonder Man is going to be released during this, right? Like Wonder Man had already come out.
Yes.
So yeah, there's not too much on the plate. There's not too much to have to wade through.
No, yeah. And to look at like some of the further back history of this, it's kind of hard to know when trailers came out. A lot of people have fuzzy memories of when they actually saw things.
And it's a full trailer, not a teaser.
Right. And back in the day, if you look at the history of trailers, they used to like shoot different kind of short films. Yeah. Really, Stanley Kubrick cut a trailer for Dr. Strangelove. That was the first time many people remembered like a trailer that was like this rapid cut style. They called them trailers because they used to play at the end of movies. They would trail the movie. And this is back in the 30s and 40s. And then so that's when they thought people would stick around and be like, okay, well, what's going to be coming in the future? Oh, a trailer. I see. So they kept that name, even though they started to play as previews before movies in cinema houses. But then as you had things like the Alien trailer, the Jurassic Park had a crazy trailer that was really cool. And it was well in advance, but it included shots that were not at all in the movie. It was just like, In South America last year, they found an amber with a mosquito in it. It's a really cool, fun trailer. But in Independence Day came out in 1996. That movie released a trailer in summer 1995. They said next summer. And a lot of film historians credit that extended marketing campaign for why Independence Day had such a huge opening weekend. And what they figured out there is that if you can release your movie on a holiday weekend, whether it's, 4th of July or Thanksgiving weekend or Christmas, those three, you can really plant your movie in the heads of viewers to plan ahead for their holidays. So it really worked out. Independence Day had a huge opening weekend. Now, a lot of people remember the trailer for The Phantom Menace, Star Wars The Phantom Menace. A lot of people were like, yeah, I remember seeing trailers for that everywhere. I remember that teaser. Famously, people would buy tickets to meet Joe Black, and they'd just buy those tickets so that they could watch the trailer for The Phantom Menace and then leave, not even lasting as long to see Brad Pitt get hit by a bunch of taxis. But that honestly wasn't that far in advance. Meet Joe Black released in November 1998. The Phantom Menace released the following spring in May of 1999. So really it was just like kind of a pretty standard 6-month marketing cycle there. The same thing that Marvel typically does, whether it was for Civil War, Avengers, Infinity War did that. Often they'll do like kind of a November or December trailer drop for a May release. However, there's one huge movie that we're not talking about that broke the record, even more than any Christopher Nolan movie. Star Wars: The Force Awakens. Many of you watching probably remember this. They released a teaser online in November of 2014 for a December 2015 release. And this isn't just putting it in movie theaters for people to see. They released this on YouTube for the whole world to see at the same time. And that created such an excitement, fever pitch, Advent period that I don't think we've seen anything like it, with the exception of maybe between Infinity War and Endgame. But what you had between Infinity War and Endgame was a $1 billion movie that got excitement for it, leading to another $1 billion movie. This was just a single trailer. That's how much enthusiasm there was off of this one trailer. And it cooked. Go watch it right now. You're going to remember how you felt. But that was a 13-month marketing period from the moment the trailer dropped, Thanksgiving. And I think they smartly released it on the Thanksgiving holiday so that a lot of people, they were all together with their families and would put it up on their TVs. So that's kind of what we're looking at now. It worked out really well for Disney to do that. And I think part of the strategy of releasing things this early is you have to have confidence in your product that it's going to deliver.
I think it's going to deliver.
I think it will too.
Even if it doesn't deliver, I think we have faith that it will. And I think everyone's still looking forward to it. So easy bet to do it in December.
You have to have footage to show, or at least audio to include, which Christopher Nolan had for Oppenheimer, for Tenet, for The Dark Knight, and for The Odyssey. He had enough to show. Even for The Dark Knight, you could hear Heath Ledger's laugh, which is so important to market that film.
I don't think there's a laugh version of that equivalent to Doomsday, but I do think in Doomsday, they're probably going to not still show his face. It's still going to be the back of him walking, and it's going to be slow faded cuts of different people crash burning, almost dying. And that's where we see a little bit of the X-Men, but we're not going to see like them even say a word.
I don't think we'll see Downey's face in this.
They're not gonna show it.
And then
this is gonna be a teaser, by the way.
It'll be a real teaser.
This is gonna be the most teaser of tease.
Yeah, I think the third component you need to release something this early is you need work to do, which is kind of like a weird thing here. You need to it needs to be an excuse to break that glass, and that the franchise needs to be. The fan base needs to be a bit dormant. So with The Force Awakens, even calling the movie The Force Awakens, the Star Wars fan base had been dormant. We had Revenge of the Sith, and coming out of 2006, the Star Wars fan base was kind of divided over the prequels. You had them now, they were getting literary material from EU novels. You were getting the Clone Wars animated series on Cartoon Network at the time. You had Lego sets that people were still buying, myself included. But you didn't have a Star Wars movie. But then when Lucasfilm sold to Disney, You had J.J. Abrams announced for this project. You had this cast photo, and there was some excitement. I mean, people liked J.J. Abrams' first Star Trek movie. A lot of people even liked the second one. They're like, we really believe what this guy could do. I remember there was a video of J.J. Abrams from the set in Jordan, and he was like talking about how he wanted to do a lot of practical stuff. So people were pumped. And then just seeing this teaser, which is really just like, I don't know, 12 shots from the movie that includes BB-8 rolling with a panic across the sand. Every shot of that gave us enough to feast on. So, but the trailer releasing was kind of a remedy to a dormancy. And that also applied to The Phantom Menace. That applied to, in every movie Christopher Nolan makes is kind of trying to solve or scratch some itch that film goers need. The Last Jedi also released really early for its trailer. So I think that's what Avengers Doomsday is doing here. Is they recognize that the Marvel fan base is dormant. Yes, there are some torchbearers who have kept the flame alive, but we are in kind of a low period. They recognize that. And I think even the movie Avengers Doomsday is going to be addressing that in the runtime of the film.
Yeah, I can see that. The only way to unite us is X-Men. And then if X-Men flop,
then who knows?
I don't know what you're going to do, my boy.
Whoa.
I was like, I've just been waiting for X-Men.
We all are. And I think we need to see some of these heroes come back. We've talked a lot about, do you think we'll get at least part of the answer as to why it has to be Robert Downey Jr. coming back to play Dr. Doom in the teaser? Or will we have to wait for the runtime?
We're not going to get it in the teaser.
No, I think we'll get it in the movie.
If we don't even see his face in the teaser, I feel like we're going to see his face in the trailer.
I think we'll hear his voice.
You don't think we'll see his face in the teaser or the trailer?
No, I think we will see his face in like the big trailer that comes out.
Yes, that's the big trailer.
But I think in this teaser, we'll hear his voice.
Yeah. I also think if they do want to explain that, which I assume would happen in the movie, they could do it in that like 1 week up until the movie when they're releasing every goddamn thing and almost spoiling the movie. They could release it in like one of those clips, those featurettes. But I hope they don't. I hope they don't.
And I think the reason why they're okay just using Downey's voice is that's how that's how Nolan sold Oppenheimer. That teaser that came out a year in advance, it was just the voice of Robert Downey Jr. saying, "The man who moved the earth," as Louis Strauss. And just that line, for a lot of people, are like, all right, I'm seated. I'll be there in a year. So I think folks at Disney saw Warner Bros. No, it was Universal at that point who released Oppenheimer, saw their success with that and said, okay, just the voice of Robert Downey Jr., just the voice of Downey can get people to sign up for tickets. I think more
so for Marvel 100%.
Yeah.
Because he's the king of Marvel.
Yeah. And I mean, if you look at the past Civil War trailer, Infinity War trailer, Doomsday trailer, they were all Downey-centric.
Gotta be Downey.
Yeah.
Downey.
It's got to be Downey. So, okay, let's do a bit of prediction of what we think would be in a teaser like this. You got your ticket for Fire and Ash.
Yeah.
You're painted head to toe as blue Na'vi makeup.
yeah, I'm wearing a thong. They're standing, trying to pick me up out of my seat to remove me from the theater. I'm going, I need to see Doomsday's teaser.
You got your big volcano popcorn bucket ready to go. I mean, this is why we're going to be in the theaters this Christmas. We can laugh, but that movie's going to make us all cry.
I'm going to see that movie.
It's going to be visually stunning.
You're out of your mind. I'm going to see it in Dolby and IMAX. I need to hear it first, and then I'm going to go see it for what it is.
Jessica's going to have her big spiral notebook of her friend who works on these. You have got an Avatar friend, right?
Oh, yeah. The lore keeper?
The keeper of the lore.
The keeper of the lore. Who, insane to me, because let me tell you, there's too much lore in that damn universe. At least you get to be there from the jump, though. But the fact that like every plant has a name and has a purpose, nah, I'm good. Do not put me
And we're not talking about like a genus species name. Like one's name is Carl.
Carl.
Another's name is Jimmy Jr.
This one's Gina. This one's Gina. It's named after Gina Ippolito, which is insane. No, my prediction for it, which it probably won't happen, but this is exactly how I'm seeing it. Like I'm calling it too close. I'm saying that we're going to see Doom, even if it's destroying the X mansion or something, he's going to be hovering or just be standing there. We're seeing him from the backside, right? Dark. We barely hear him, but he's talking. I think we're going to get Robert Downey Jr.'s voice narrating this. And it's going to get flashes of fade-ins of different groups together, just like failing. Because we always, if it's two movies, the first one, they got to lose. They got to lose. And the second one, in Secret Wars, they'll come up maybe, hopefully. But I think in the first one and in Doomsday, they're all going to fail. And we're going to see, what was the photo that we kind of saw already with Ben Grimm, was it Falcon, Wyatt Russell's U.S. agent. Yeah, we're gonna see those three. We're gonna see so many different people. We're gonna see the X-Men together, and everybody is failing. Like their suits are kind of ripped, they're bleeding, they're sad, and then it ends with like Doom saying something like, "I'm gonna kill you all," and then that's where it's gonna end. Yeah. I think you do need to show the X-Men in their suits. Mm-hmm. You need to show the X-Men in their suits. That's what gets us in there. I don't think they're gonna reveal like Storm out of nowhere in the teaser. No. It's gonna be people we already saw. People that are gonna be on that satchel and that tote. But I need to see them in the suits.
Yeah, I think this teaser would be like 90 seconds.
90 seconds.
It's gonna have it's gonna be structured into the different groups. Yeah. And I think what you see, I'm gonna just do my whole prediction.
Okay, that's what I did.
Okay, so we're gonna see Florence Pugh and David Harbour and maybe Wyatt Russell concerned looking out a window of either wherever they are in the post-credit scene. They're just gonna be concerned looking out the window. Wyatt Russell will be wearing his beret and his new suit. Okay. You're going to get a shot of Reed and Sue. Just Reed and Sue. I don't think we see Ben or Johnny just because they got to pay for the VFX for Ben and they're still working on it. So just Reed and Sue. Sue's crying, pissed, saying, he took my son. Something like that. Where is my son?
Yeah, 100.
Kind of the ransom line of, give me back my son. Something like that. 100%. They're going to give Vanessa Kirby something to feast on. Then we're going to get a shot of McKellen and Stewart.
Yeah.
And maybe Marsden, but I don't think we see coming as Nightcrawler. I don't think we see Remain.
And you're
as
right.
Mystique.
I think you're right about the VFX ones. Like they still hold that shit, and it's a year away. So it's like, they're probably not going to show. The most we'll see is someone that can fly.
Yeah. Do we in this teaser is the needle drop line Stewart saying, "To me, my X-Men"?
I think
do we get that in the teaser?
I think we should get. You either get it in the teaser or you get it in the trailer. I don't think you get it in both. You get it in one or the other, and it's more, I think, dependent on whether or not they want to make Robert Downey Jr. the frame of the teaser or the X-Men the frame of the teaser. I think it should just be Robert Downey Jr.'s voice, just talking. But if they needle drop the "To Me, My X-Men," also if they needle drop the "To Me, My X-Men," which I would love, it becomes an X-Men movie. It is an X-Men movie.
Sure.
It is an X-Men movie.
So maybe we don't hear the term X-Men in this trailer, but do we hear the word Doomsday in the trailer? Do we hear Downey say, "All roads end at me. Welcome to your Doomsday," or something like that?
I would love that. But do you think they're going to use Doomsday as a joke? The name.
Oh, they wouldn't make it a joke. They want us to be afraid of the word.
They want us to be, but I'm also like, watch Florence be like, or not Florence, watch US Agent be like, what, like a doomsday bomb or something?
What is this, some kind of doomsday?
What is this, some kind of doomsday?
Could you imagine people just throwing their volcano popcorn buckets at the screen?
Look, I'm only there for this trailer. No, I'm not. I'm not only there for this trailer.
The cut to the AMC employee just like trying to scrub so many butt cheek blue paint butt grooves out of these seats of people just got up to leave.
Mine is all over the seat, and it stays. Sorry. So you don't, maybe not the needle drop, but the X-Men. You think it's only going to be Stewart and Sir Ian McKellen? Is Patrick Stewart a sir?
Yeah, we can call him sir. I call him Sir James Marsden.
Wait, he's not even British.
No, I don't care.
Sir James Marsden.
Sir James Marsden. Sir James.
You think James will be in the teaser?
Mocha latte for Sir James? For
Sir James. If I worked at Starbucks, I would do that to everyone's drink, and they'd be like, you can't do that anymore. Also because I'm assuming what they are. Lady Catherine. Okay, so not all the X-Men you think are going to be in the teaser? No Nightcrawler?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe, man, if they're going to be ambitious in this trailer, we get a bamf and then a smoke.
That's what I want.
But I think you save that for the trailer. That's for the March trailer.
In the most respectful way. Do you not, respectful, this isn't a mean thing to say. You don't think they finished like certain sections yet? Like you think the VFX is just being saved all towards the end? They're not doing it in patches? Okay.
These guys, I'm telling you, they just wrapped. They got enough shots in the X Mansion.
Okay.
I don't think they show us much. In fact, I think you're right. I think it's going to be 90 seconds, mostly just foreboding music, visuals, and then we get one line of dialogue from Downey, and maybe it's something to the effect of new mask, same task. He could just say that.
Oh, that'd be saying if he addresses it.
Yeah.
Then that would already address like, oh, so he recognizes he's someone else and a different person.
Or he says a suit of armor around the world.
Yeah.
I have a new suit of armor around this
when
world.
we get closer to the date of December for that, we should pitch what that one.
Yeah,
line is
yeah.
gonna
We
be,
should
'cause
put
it's gonna be
bets.
something.
We should do a bingo card.
He's got to say something. If he doesn't talk at all in the trailer, I'll be kind of mad. Or the teaser, I'll be kind of irritated.
Now, we should be clear, this is called the Rumor Rundown. We have gotten
sorry.
a little carried away. We don't know for sure. But Daniel RPK, especially when it comes to like trailers, they're pretty accurate. And I feel like, so a lot of the speculation is that Disney would release this in movie theaters alone and then put it online on Monday, December 22nd. I don't buy that.
I don't think they're going to do that.
I think they will release it like that day because this is going to leak. There's no way you could put that in a movie theater and it's not going to leak that day.
It's not Christopher Nolan doing freaking The Odyssey.
Which that also leaked. A high quality
leaked.
version of that leaked, and then Universal did DCMA takedowns, including of some new Rockstars videos.
Goddamn.
We love you, Universal. Donna Langley, will you let them liberate our video, please?
Universal, let me come to your park for free. Is that what we're asking for right
We
now?
have some friends at Universal.
Yeah,
we can make that.
Lindsay is actually a great person at Universal. Lindsay, if you're listening, I love you so much.
Jimmy, we love you.
There you go. Yeah, when it comes, sorry, we did go off the tangent because we believe the rumor so much.
We do,
and
believe
I do
the
believe
rumor.
the rumor. I do believe the rumor 100%. A year, yeah, 100%, 100%. Why not? It's a big. The bets in this, they're betting big, and why wouldn't you? Everyone's gonna go see it. Everyone's gonna go see it, whether or not they like it. Everyone's gonna go buy a ticket to go see it.
Yeah,
We all got to see it.
we get a. I think we get a line from Downey. Assuming this is gonna happen, we get one line of Downey. We don't see him yet. We see his mask. And then we get the title, and then we get what is the stinger at the end of the teaser, the something. My bet is we get a snicked. We get a sing.
Oh, you think?
And that's what the Russo brothers photo was all about.
Would it be oh god, I just told you, I corrected you. I said it can't be like an X-Men movie. And then I'm like, what if it's a Sentinel being like Omega level threat?
Ooh, I
And
like
I'm
that.
But then I'm like, that turns into an X-Men. Well,
But I think they want it to be in our heads as kind of an X-Men movie.
I do.
They want like X-Men versus Downey.
I
Is how they're gonna sell this right now.
The
Like
Snick
next
doesn't
Christmas.
make it sound like it just makes it sound like, oh, an additional cast member is Wolverine.
Well, it's
It
kind
makes
of
it
like that
less
final shot of the Wakanda Forever trailer where you just see the claws
Yeah,
come down to the frame. It's going to be that stinger again, but snicked is my prediction. And that way they're going to say, oh, Wolverine is actually going to be in this, but in the distant background, rather than Namor, you'll be able to see glowing green,
You know what I'm gonna say?
magic from Doctor Doom.
You know what I'm gonna say? Expect the worst, hope for the best. Except for this isn't worse. This is just great. I think it's gonna be a Wanda plug.
Whoa.
I think it's gonna be a Wanda plug. I think it's gonna be a Wanda plug. Even if it's the Wanda that's in the X-Men universe or just a different Wanda, they're gonna be like, Wanda's here. Like it's gonna be something to do with Wanda. Like, Wanda, you can actually stop this. And she's gonna be like, who are you again? And that's when we realize it's not our Wanda, it's a different Wanda.
I mean, I will buy as many tickets as I can.
I'm gonna buy the ticket.
If that happens. I mean, look, that would remind us of when we were in movie theaters in December of 2021 when Spider-Man No Way Home ended, and then it was a trailer for Multiverse of Madness, and I remember it was the first time many of us were in a movie theater in many months, and we got to see our queen from Disney Plus at the beginning of the year, her face on the big screen, as she said, like, what was it? Like, this is about what happened in Westview or something like that. Or the shot where it goes into her eye when she's about to kill Professor X. Like, it was incredible to see Lizzie Olsen on a big screen.
I love her.
I mean, we were cooking. What a time to be alive that was. And the roar of that audience when we got to see Lizzie Olsen as Wanda covered in blood. Like, that was
I think she's big
wild.
enough. I think she's way big enough for audiences that don't know Marvel and are seeing Avatar Fire and Ash for just Avatar Fire and Ash to see Elizabeth Olsen's Wanda and be like, oh wait, that's the girl that died.
They're going to need to, if it's going to be a teaser that releases a year in advance, it needs to be something that lives in our brains for 12 months. And so, like, if you're working at Disney marketing team, what do you need to be in that teaser? Like, honestly, you want the bare minimum. You don't want to overshare. You want the bare minimum. And I think you gotta have a McKellen, a Stewart, or a Marsden in there, and you gotta have Downey's voice.
They just might make the stinger be the X-Men be the last part. Just they're revealing their costumes because we don't know what they look like.
Or at least one of them. I think you get one of them.
I think
some iconography.
I could see them just say, like, when we're flashing to every different group, the X-Men are not one of them. And then at the very end, they reveal. Well, but I also agree with your VFX is like understanding of like they probably don't have it ready. But if they did, showing Mystique in that white and showing Nightcrawler just poofing in.
Mystique in the white is dreams
too
come
much?
true.
No,
I can't
too much
wait.
for Avatar Fire and Ash where they're literally wearing G-strings?
Yeah. Or a different blue-skinned sexy lady.
Wait, you got to put Mystique in there now. Wait, that's fucked up if you don't put Mystique in this teaser trailer. Nah, now I disagree with what you said.
I think you have to have Anthony Mackie in there. You got to remind people of like who the face of the Avengers are. He's going to be in that trailer, and you're going to have a Black Panther or Black Panther adjacent character. I think you do see Shuri in the Black Panther suit or M'Baku.
Or you see them calling. I think you're going to see them like taking a call that's like, hey, because we also still don't know where whatchamacallit's at. What's her name? Okoye.
Midnight Angel Okoye.
Okay. Midnight. Well, yeah, she has the suit. She does have the suit.
She's not even confirmed to be in this movie. Denai Guerrera is. So I'm saying like maybe you get Winston Duke, you get maybe Namor, but I think you either get Winston Duke or Letitia Wright as Shuri. I think a lot of concerned looking out windows shots or looking up at the sky shots. Yeah,
it's gonna be like shadow, like eclipse sun, and everyone's going, what in the hell? It's like that scene in Austin Powers where it's the spaceship.
Look at that giant Wang. Pay attention.
Wang, pay attention. Nuts, get your nice salt.
One-eyed monster.
Yeah, one-eyed monster. That was so funny.
When I was a kid, I memorized that routine and I recorded it into a tape recorder that I had because I thought it was so funny. And then my dad found it and then played it back and listened to it and didn't understand that it was from a movie. And he came into my room while I was playing Crash Bandicoot and played it. And I was so embarrassed I started to cry. And I couldn't explain to him that it was from a movie. He just thought I was saying a bunch of like dirty
weird
jokes.
Shit. Also, it's too specific to be like, I created this. I'd have been like, no, it's from Austin Powers. It's a very long
I would be like, it's just nothing. It's nothing.
What did he say? Johnson.
And I know. That was part of it. I took the tape out and I threw it in the garbage in my bathroom.
So mad.
Like, it's nothing. And I went to bed crying.
We're never going to get that tape again. That tape is gone. The tape is in the vault.
I bet I can find it. To Jacksonville.
And what, put it back together? First off, I don't think we have anything that can play it. I'll say that.
Oh, that's right. Because it was one of those mini cassette tapes. I don't know how you would play that.
Was it a hip clip?
A what?
A hit clip?
A hip clip?
Those little things, the little CDs that you put into the little...
Oh, no. Oh, I wish. No, it was like the little... It looked like an old like Game Boy Advance size tape. Remember Game Boy Advance?
No, I know. I don't know what recorder that is. I think that's a specific recorder.
It was what reporters would use, or if you were in an academic setting.
Why did you have that?
Because I think I had it because I was in middle school and I wanted to use it for like to record my lectures, or I thought I was going to be like a gumshoe, like a Harriet the Spy, or I think I had it for like a class project where I had to interview someone, and I'm like, I need to get one of these, Mom. And then I had it, and then I would just record pranks on it and stuff.
You're so weird.
It was like a cheap version of a Talk Boy.
You're going... holding it up to people.
Yeah. Or I was like, I had to interview like a veteran for a class project or something like that. I'm like, I have to record it somehow.
Mom, I need the tape recorder. That's so funny.
And then I just used it for Austin Powers bits, and then my dad found it, and he just didn't get it. I'm sure if I had just explained, there's a new Mike Myers movie that we rented last weekend where I was giggling the whole time. It's just me reenacting it.
Literally.
And he would have been like, oh, okay. And he probably would have joined in, knowing my dad.
He said, no, I'm embarrassed.
I got so embarrassed. Anyway, but yeah. So if we're looking ahead to teasers, I think that is what you can expect. And again, just to kind of recap, why would Marvel release a teaser that far in advance? A, if they have the goods, if they feel confident. B, if what else did I say? B, if there's like a holiday attached to it. And Christmas of 2026. I mean, now that they're moving all their Marvel releases to Christmas instead of May, I think it's so that they can try to captivate some of that Force Awakens vibes of getting people that pumped and see if they feel like they have work to do, if they have some cleanup, and definitely the dormancy period that Marvel is in right now. Like even listening to The Town, again, I know we're doing a lot of name drops of The Town here. There was Matt Bellany brought in like another guy who works at an agency who said that like, spec script sales have started to go back up. That's where a screenwriter will write a script before they're commissioned by a studio to write it, just writing an original idea and then selling it. And that's like movies like Zach Kreger's Weapons was a spec script, you know, Jordan Peele's Sinners was a spec
I
script.
think Juno was, and so was
Juno, yeah.
I think a lot of Diablo Cody, honestly, probably.
And we thought that market was dead, but it started to creep back up just in the past year. And they said it's because Marvel Studios is kind of in a holding pattern, is what they said.
I also wonder what the ratio is to the studios that hold that shit on the shelves.
Or
production companies that just hold that shit on the shelf forever.
That is the fear. I mean, either way, when you sell the script, you get paid up front, but you really make your money on the back end when it gets made, and their fear is that these things will never get made.
If you can stay attached, that is the most luckiest thing. That's very great. But if you sell a script, I think it's still a very big rewarding thing.
Yeah, and it's how a lot of screenwriters used to be able to make a living wage. Is like they could just sell their script and sell this, or sell a pilot. Maybe it never gets made, but at least you got something for it. And that market mostly has gone away. But just in the film side, things have started to get back up. Now, people on the TV side. It's done. On the TV side, they have not. It's been a barren wasteland for a lot of TV writers because, like, you used to be able to sell a pilot, and now they're not even buying stuff unless it was a pre-existing IP in the form of a graphic novel or a video game or some kind of IP that was already a spin-off of something else.
I genuinely can't think of anything I'm watching currently that's like original, except for some animated shows. I'm like, I don't know.
I mean, Severance was original. Right?
I haven't watched Severance.
But even then, Severance was quote unquote original. It had Ben Stiller attached. It was a packaged.
Well, that's
show.
Also the thing. You have to get that. You got to get it attached with someone. You always got to get attached with someone. If you can come to the studios and be like, sometimes it still doesn't work. I was just reading about someone that just pitched something and had Jeremy Renner and Stephanie Beatrice already attached to it, and they were like, "No, we don't want it." And I was like, "Damn." Yeah. You already had celebrities, but most of the time it's a better view for the studio if you have a celebrity already attached to it. I think
like Pen 15 was something that was made by the two of them at Awesomeness.
But it started on Awesomeness.
Never happens again.
They have not gone back to YouTube sensations in a minute. I think Awkward
Talent Black they will.
Insecure and Pen 15
Kita made it over into Abbott Elementary, but she was cast in that show, which is a packaged show.
And it didn't start on YouTube.
No,
this is how old I'm getting. My brain is getting when you used to make digital series, like we would make them on YouTube, we would sell them. That's what.
Now they are happening at the high end. So like Mr. Beast sells to Amazon.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Well, I'm not him.
None of us are.
I'm making a show about like a cafe.
Miss Rachel becomes a huge children's programming star on YouTube and then sells to Netflix, and now you can find her stuff on Netflix.
I'm talking
about
those.
But that's at the high end. You don't see people like coming up with a pilot. The people on our level, but like a lot of YouTube channels that you may watch, whether it's through BuzzFeed or Try Guys, Watcher, Dropout, a lot of their model was to try to come up with these original programming that would sell, and now they're all having trouble selling it to other places, and they're just having more profit either releasing it on their own channel or their own streaming platform.
It hasn't happened. Don't quote me on this. It was just when I was in digital like deeply. It was just like I was like, oh my god! It was a weird climax of people buying digital studios or digital platforms and then wiping them, so they weren't like competition,
right?
And it was happening to everyone,
just
and
dumb.
I was just like, please stop this. I was like getting so scared. They eventually just didn't want College Humor anymore. We didn't get bought out. They just dropped us. But I remember when it was happening to everybody else, I was like, oh my God, I'm so scared. I haven't seen that happen in a minute.
No,
but they're just not buying this. They're not buying what they're putting down.
Yeah.
Oh God, you guys.
We got into some industry chat here. Maybe you stayed with us for that. Maybe you didn't.
Maybe you can talk to your dad who is friends somehow with someone big.
Yeah. Does your dad know a venture capitalist who wants to fund a YouTube-based production company?
Did your dad own an HVAC company and can lend me some money? I don't know why HVAC was the first thing that came to my mind.
It makes money.
That makes money. And I was like, I know you could give me some.
Well, comment down below with what you're into. Like, do you want a trailer? I think we all want a trailer now for Doomsday. But can you think of other examples of seeing a trailer like a year in advance? I'm sure we forgot some. We didn't cover a lot of animated movies. There have been a lot of Pixar, Zootopia, that kind of thing. They've released trailers well in advance, but it's just like a snippet of something or just the title of the movie. We're talking live action movies. Did you see a trailer a year in advance?
I feel like I'm trying to think really hard, and I'm like, I feel like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Oh, maybe some of those Pirates movies. Yeah,
I'm trying to think because when I was in middle school, that was like the time I was at the theater. That was all we could do. we lived in a rainy state. You had to go to the mall and go see movies. And I remember just being like, oh, note to self, happy feet.
I think the Lord of the Rings movies, they all released back to back to back years. But like the first one, Fellowship, I remember seeing that trailer, but I think it was just like the summer before. I think it was summer 2001.
That's the hard thing. Is like I don't keep track of the ones that came 2 years ago, except for like when it's Christopher Nolan's Odyssey. And I'm like, I bought my ticket a year ago. Yeah. I bought my ticket a year in advance.
Yep. You and Abby were lucky ones. I was not able to get a ticket.
Oh, my seat is not. I'm far. I'm at the very end of the row.
So you're doing the one where you're going to see Matt Damon as like.
Yeah, I'm going to be like lean like this. No, I'm not in a good seat whatsoever. I'm like fourth from the front all the way to the right.
It's a great one. That's how I saw Oppenheimer. I saw Oppenheimer with Cillian Murphy just like.
I was like,
Mr. President, I feel like I have blood on my hands.
I had such a good seat for Oppenheimer, but I was in Dolby, and I think my eardrum got blown out at one point.
Also, comment what you think will be what we'll see in this Doomsday teaser if it does come out before Fire and Ash. Also, what are your hopes for Fire and Ash? I'm super pumped for that movie.
I don't know what's. I haven't watched. I don't want to watch any more of it before I see it. I'm trying to avoid
all the
trailers.
Shots look good.
After the teaser I saw, I was like, I'm not gonna watch anything else. I'm just gonna show up to the theater. And I'm going to be like, oh, it's another faction of blue people.
Now you just watch edited versions where it's the bad guy from the Avatar movies flirting with Elphaba.
Oh, what is that? And why is your For You page so fucked up?
That John shared that. I didn't share that. It's one of the hottest cuts I've ever seen in my life.
Okay, this just in. Eric's a pervert.
Hold on. Don't kink shame me. These are two multicolored adults
fetishist.
who I love. Well, one of them's green.
Oh, thank God. Thank God.
All right. Thanks to Brian Kim for producing and editing this episode. And you can get audio versions of this show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts. And that's also where you can find our underground audio feed, where we do our Survivor after show. We do our Danger Room show. A lot of fun content that you can find there by supporting us. Thanks for listening and thanks for watching. Thank you, Jess.
I'm going to have chicken Alfredo for dinner tonight.
Fun. Fun.
That was the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, bye? Maybe that's what I should say?
I'm going to have Chinese, I think.
Oh, God, don't say that. I would eat that up.
Bye.
Bye.